Hello, this is Ms. Pam with another fabulous IXL tutorial. Today we're working on CC1, interpret tables. So in this particular IXL, what we're going to do is we're going to interpret tables and basically understand, well, what is the table trying to convey and what does the data mean? So what they're going to do is they're going to ask us some questions about the table, and all we're going to do is use the table to respond back. But before we get started, what we're going to do is we're going to highlight some important terms and vocabulary that's over to the right side. So let's take a look. All right. When you see the word more than 2 times, that means we're going to pick 3 or more. Okay. So when you see the words more than, don't pick the same number. Just pick the one above it and higher. And vice versa. If it says fewer than a particular number, like for example, fewer than 2 poems, well, we're going to pick 1 or lower. Now, if it says, well, if something scored 6 or something is something, just pick the same thing that matches and corresponds to that. The word at least means at least that number, which means you do include that number or higher. The word in all means add everything. The fewest times means we're going to pick the lowest corresponding number. The word exactly means just pick the corresponding number to either the right or left in the table. In the event rolled the most times, so for an example, well, which event occurred the most times, we're going to pick the highest corresponding number. And our last one is when it says how many more, we're going to go ahead and use subtraction. All right, let's go ahead and use those vocabulary words and see how well it works out, because that should be very helpful. All right. Okay, here we go. First table. While working as a summer camp counselor, Maggie monitored how many candy necklaces each child made. How many children made more than 4 candy necklaces? So the word more means 5 or higher, because more means we don't include 4. All right, so 5 or higher, there's only one that's 5 or higher. So there's a 5, and it happened 20 times. So we're going to go ahead and put 20. So again, how does this work? Well, it says 5 or more candy necklaces. So here are the candy necklaces right here. There's the 5, and the corresponding number to the 5 is that 20. All right, out to a good start. All right. Several children compare how many thank you notes they had written during the previous month. How many children wrote fewer than 4 thank you notes? So what we're going to do is we're going to pick 3 or less. So we could pick that 3. We're going to pick that 2. We're going to pick that 1. And we're also going to pick that 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to add up these numbers here in the frequency, because all these occurred 3 or less times. So this is where the calculator is going to come in handy. Here we go. So we're going to go ahead and use a 14 plus 2 plus 5 plus 3. And how many children wrote fewer than 4 thank you letters or notes? Well, that is a total of 24. All right. Riley and her friends recorded their scores while playing a board game. Which score did the fewest people receive? So the fewest people. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the score, all right, and the frequency. Because we're looking at which score, that means the answer is going to be on the left side. So we need to refer to the frequency to start out with. So the smallest frequency is a 3. Therefore, the 8 was the least common frequency of the score that the students got. All right. So Riley and her friends were unlucky to get 8 because it only happened 3 times. So answer here is going to be 8. Kind of tricky, but just read through it so you can be brilliant. All right. During the lab exercise, students in Professor Morrison's class rolled a 6-sided die and recorded the results. So 6-sided die means there's 1 out of 6 chance. How many students in the class rolled a 2? So what we're going to do is we're going to find a 2. There's the number rolled. So number rolled, 2. And the question is asking for, well, what was the frequency? Well, the frequency was 5 students. So 5 students rolled a 2. All right. So we counted the number of cookies eaten by each customer at last week's bake sale. How many customers are there in all? Okay, the word in all means just add them all up. Okay, so we're going to add the frequency in this case. Let me try this one in my head. So 19 plus 10 is 29. 29 plus 17 is 36. And 1 is 37. Kind of scared. I'm going to check. So 19, I'm saying 37. So 19 plus 10 plus 17 plus 1 is 47. Oh, see, I missed. I was like, you know what? Something don't seem right. And actually, if I just look at the ones places here, it's already automatically 30 something. So plus another one. So 47. Good thing you checked, right? Use a calculator. So if you don't know, like just use a calculator and check. All right. The shop teacher, Mr. Kerr, wrote down how many picture frames the students made last week. How many students made fewer? How many students made at least 2 picture frames? Ooh, I said the word fewer. At least means 3 or higher. So there's a 3. And a 4 is also 3 or higher. So we need to add the 13 plus 19. Based upon my fabulous math skills on the last problem, this is going to use a calculator. So 13 plus 19 is going to give us 32. And let's take a look at what happened. Oh, the word at least. If I check my notes right here, it means include that number. See, I didn't even use my own notes. Little mistakes, right? All right, but we got it. The notes were correct. I should have just checked it. All right, let's do a recovery question and get this one back. All right, the researcher working for a cereal company surveyed people about their cereal consumption habits. How many people ate cereal more than 3 times? Okay, more than 3 times means 4 or higher. And in that case, 4 or higher is only that 3 because that's only 4 that's there. There we go. Quick recovery question. I like it. All right. A math textbook explains the probability by showing a set of cards numbered 4 through 9 and showing the number of people who might draw each card. Which number was drawn the fewest times? So what we're going to do is we're going to check the frequency and find the smallest frequency. The smallest frequency is a 2. Therefore, the number 8 card was drawn the fewest time. All right. The Rockport Tourism Office researched how many people played miniature golf last summer. How many people are in the all? So this is just an adding question here. So we're going to add the frequency of people. So we got 1 plus, by the way, I'm not adding 0 because you don't need to add 0. There's nothing there, right? So we'll start with the 1 plus 10 plus 12 plus 14 plus 19 takes us to 56. Now before I press enter, because I'm doing in all, check your adding and make sure it's right. So what I can do is I can just double check the calculator. I got the right numbers in there. I got 1, 10, 12, 14, 19, all positive. So we're good. If you make a little mistake in the calculator, of course you can get it wrong because the calculator only does what you put it in. All right. To determine whether people make fewer trips to the movies when a company is bad and the economy is bad. By the way, the economy means how's life going in general. So economy is like, well, when life's going good, people are spending money, doing stuff, doing fun stuff. When the economy is bad, generally people don't have money and there's problems, right? So when the economy is bad, a reporter asked how many movies they saw last month. So how many people went to the movies fewer than 2 times? So fewer means 1 or lower. And actually, this worked out perfect because 2 times fewer than 2 poems. Well, instead of poems, we're just doing a number of times. So we're going to include 1 and 0. So 1 is fewer than 2 times, so that's 2. And 0 is also fewer than 2. Notice as the number of trips went down, the frequency went up. So in a bad economy, people don't really go to the movies. So it's good to understand the table, what it's trying to tell you too. So 15 plus 2, I can do that one is 17. Fewer than 2. So don't include the 2, don't include the 3. All right. A food manufacturer surveyed customers about their macaroni and cheese consumption. Macaroni. How many people ate macaroni and cheese? Exactly twice last month. Twice last month. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the times eaten. We're looking at 2 times, and 13 people had macaroni and cheese twice last month. So 13. All right, Celine figured out the scores at the end of a card game. Which score did the greatest number of people receive? So what we're doing is we're looking for the greatest number of people first. So we're going to look at the frequency and find the highest number. And if I'm not mistaken, 17 is the highest frequency. And because we're looking for which score, the score from 17 came out of the 10. All right, so the frequency came to the 10. All right. Okay, approaching 70. Doing real good. We're 11 minutes. We're just like cruising right through. During health class, students reported the number of times they ate fast food last month. How many students ate fast food more than 2 times? Well, more than 2 times means 3 or more. So don't include 2. So 3 is 14, and times eaten of 4 is 8. So we're going to add 14 plus 8. And 14 plus 8 takes us to 14 plus 8 is 22. All right, the Pearson Farm in Idaho has kept track of the market prices of its crops each year. Okay, per CWT, how many more peaches cost? How much more did peaches cost in 2005 than in 2004? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're only going to look at peaches. Okay, so only look at peaches. We don't care about any of this other stuff. Okay, so we eliminated a bunch of information. Now, because we're looking at how much more, what we're going to do is we're going to subtract 48 minus 38. And that should give us a number of 10. Okay, so when you see the word much more, let's go back. How many more, right? That's subtraction. So how much more did peaches cost in 2005? Well, they went up by $10. So again, interpret the question. Interpret the question says, how much did they go up? Well, they went up $10. All right, nice. The school cafeteria asked students about their favorite sandwich before updating the lunch menu. Let's click the word here. There we go. Did lower elementary students vote for peanut butter sandwiches or chicken salad sandwiches? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at lower elementary students. So lower elementary students is here. Okay. And what we want to do is who figured out, well, who picked more? Okay. Was it peanut butter? Or the other one, a chicken salad? Okay. And where the lines cross, notice that the lines are crossing here. Ooh, you can't even see that. So we cross at a 12 and a 95. So the question is here, well, which one's the highest number? Which ones did the elementary students pick? Surprisingly, according to this table, students are picking chicken salad over peanut butter. So we're going to go ahead and pick chicken salad. That chicken salad must be real good. All right, we're at smart score 79 is going to get us close to wrapping up with the last question. All right, Morristown Elementary School polled its students about their favorite vegetables in order to decide which ones to plant in the new school garden. Which vegetable is most popular? All right, so going back to this, I'm not sure if we're looking at upper elementary or lower, or if it even matters. So I'm going to read the question one more time. Once in a while, you have to read it a couple times to understand it, because like it says, which vegetable is most popular? Well, for who? Morris Elementary School polled its students about its favorite vegetables in order to decide which ones to plant in the new school garden. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to add both upper and lower elementary school and see overall. So again, overall, which vegetable did the first. So start with cauliflower. We got 98 plus 41 is 139, so I got 139. Scratch paper is going to come in handy for something like this because you got to keep track of it. 70 and 81. 70 plus 81 is 151. So far, the onions are doing better than the cauliflower. So cauliflower for sure is out. Next, we're going to the beets. Reminds me of the headphones, but we're talking about just the beets. Let's see, 65 plus 75 takes us to 140. And as you can see, the onions are still tasting better than the beets, so the beets are out. Now it's a tie-off between the broccoli and the onions. Okay, so last one we got broccoli is 94 plus 59 is 153. There it is. The broccoli wins, which means 2 extra students like the broccoli over onions. So final answer here is going to be broccoli. It had the most popular vegetable within the upper and lower elementary students. And congratulations to me. I'm at a smart score of 82. Thank you, and have a fabulous day.